What up, everybody? Carolina Jackpot coming at you. It's Sunday morning, about 11 o'clock. And I'm going to recap my week number 7 picks against the spread. Overall, not a good week as far as picking against the spread goes, especially on the back half, man. Really was some tough ones there. Let's just start over. Thursday night, of course, already talked about this one. I missed off on the Texas Tech TCU there. I had went with TCU to cover the spread there. I thought they would have won at home. They did not. Texas Tech, even playing a backup quarterback, was able to win that game in kind of a low-scoring affair between those two, which I don't think was expected. This one, I went back here. I have blacked out Auburn here, and I had actually picked Tennessee to cover this game. And if you'll go back and watch my original video, which I posted up very early on Wednesday morning, I did state that I picked Tennessee to cover. But I wrote cover beside Auburn. Talked the whole segment there about how much better Tennessee was playing, and that I thought Auburn was headed in the wrong direction. So I actually did pick that one correctly. Tennessee with the straight-up 30-24 win on the road, the upset against Auburn, Auburn just looks really bad. That's Jarrett Stidham throwing some questionable passes yesterday into coverage. Was picked off a couple of times. Didn't look good at all. Good win, though, for Tennessee. Minnesota, Ohio State missed out on that one. Much closer game than that really probably should have been. I think Ohio State won that one 30-14. So it looked like they struggled a little bit in that one. And I have to admit to you guys, I didn't watch all these games, of course. There were only a few that I actually focused on, which I can actually talk a little bit more about. But Minnesota keeping it close against Ohio State there, but the Buckeyes ultimately with the victory. Florida at Vandy. I did pick Florida to cover in this game. They did cover, just barely. Needed a field goal there within the last minute that they tacked on. Kind of garbage time field goal, so they didn't really have anything else to do with the ball. In my Facebook group, I'm in a Facebook group where I pick games against the spread too with some of my friends, and I actually picked Vandy to cover the spread in this one. There's like 25 I was picking. I was one of only 3 people to pick Vandy, and I was very highly agitated when Florida kicked that field goal to lengthen that winning spread to 10 points, because in that one, our line was 8 points. So using a different service. So Florida covers the spread there against Vandy. Had to come from behind to do it. I feel like if Keyshawn Vaughn hadn't won out of that game in the first half of Vanderbilt, they would have won that football game. Explosive player. Florida was outplayed by Vanderbilt yesterday, and let's just be real, they were. But Vanderbilt just lacks the depth to keep up with teams like that when they get ahead of them. Nebraska at Northwestern. Northwestern did not cover the spread. However, they did come back and win this game 34-31. Some of these things come out with lines like that. That's a team that was 0-5 coming in. Nebraska was, and Northwestern was only favored by 5.5 points. Some of these lines, it's just like they're just begging you to take the over on them for some reason. It's like they know something. I don't know what it is. But that was Nebraska almost got their first win yesterday, but they just weren't able to do it. Duke at Georgia Tech fouled up on that one too. A lot of people around here picking Georgia Tech in that one to cover the spread and win that game. Duke with a 28-14 victory. In Atlanta on the game, I tried to pick it up here in the upstate of South Carolina. Tried to get that one in on the it's called the ACC network on cable. It's really not. They really have a real ACC network that's coming out next year. But this one shows ACC games. It was blacked out for some reason. I don't know. We're not really that close to Atlanta. Pitt at Notre Dame. Pitt covered the spread. Had a feeling that they would keep this game close. And they weren't that far off from upsetting Notre Dame. Pitt has a thing about knocking off undefeated teams, don't it? Did it last year at Miami. They've done it to Clemson a couple years ago. Of course, this team, as well as last year's team, is nowhere near as talented as the 2016 Pitt team that knocked off Clemson, but just couldn't quite get it done against Notre Dame. Got a good pass rush on Ian Book several times there, got him in trouble. But Notre Dame still ultimately comes out on top. One that has already been covered in length. Texas A&M covers the spread, wins 26-23. Jimbo Fisher's team beats my Gamecocks in Columbia in a game that was winnable by South Carolina. I mean, we can sit here and argue till the cows come home. I'm going to argue my point. You're going to argue your point. You're going to argue how Texas A&M was better than South Carolina and how we got some benefits and penalties. I'm not buying it. There was no way that Jake Bentley should have stayed in that game past the first drive. He should have been yanked, benched. Michael Scarnecchio should have played some in that game. He didn't take one snap. It was absolutely horrid to watch. Just such a really good defensive performance by South Carolina just go by the wayside. And it was. I mean, they held Travion Williams in check for most of the game. He got a couple of decent-sized runs, but he's been going over 100 yards in every game this year. Didn't do it yesterday. We actually held Kellen Mond below his average too, and just to not be able to come out victorious there was really bad. I feel like I was just bad personnel and coaching decisions. A lot of people in the comment section on my video last night want to complain about, want to say, well, those receivers dropped a lot of passes. Well, you know what? Last week when Michael Scarnecchio was throwing them, they didn't drop them. It's all about leadership. It's all about getting your team ready to play and hyped up. I said at one point during that game, the commentators on the SEC network were saying Jake Bentley was over there sitting by himself on the bench. I mean, when they came out, the defense was on there. So, I don't know, just bad, disappointing loss all the way around. And I'm really just not sold on the coaching staff down there right now in Columbia. I'm just pretty disappointed in them. Georgia, I did pick to cover against LSU here. Of course, was wrong on that one. Corn Dogs 36-16 over Georgia yesterday. Once again, a game I didn't get to see a lot of because it was on at the same exact time as my South Carolina Gamecocks. Disappointing performance by them too. Disappointing performance by Georgia, and I got a lot of people in the comment section saying I should be happy because they lost. I don't hate Georgia. I only hate them the week that we're playing them. I mean, quite honest with you, I mean, why would I not want them to win that game? I mean, they beat us, so you should be wanting teams that beat you to win their games. That makes your loss to them look, not quite as bad in most cases. Washington and Oregon, that one was a push. Oregon it was not. What am I doing here? Oregon wasn't favored by 3. They were not. So I actually got that one right. Yay! One more feather in my cap. A little gaff there. Middle error. Yeah, I picked Oregon to win that one straight up, and they did. Another disappointing one, Purdue at Illinois. I thought Illinois was a lot better than what they showed yesterday. They were just absolutely boat raced by Purdue. It was like 43-9 or something like that, I think. Let me look here what the exact score on that game was. 46-7. I don't know. What's wrong with you, Lovie Smith? Baylor at Texas. Covered the spread. 14.5 points. Texas was favored by. They only won 23-17 yesterday, but they did get it done, as all good teams will do. Michigan State on the road at Penn State got the win. Got upset. I mean, that's just that. Some of these you just cannot predict. No one would have predicted that to happen. Unranked Sparty goes into Beaver Stadium and wins yesterday 21-17. Here's another head scratcher. Virginia Tech just barely eking out a win at North Carolina. UNC, last time we saw them out, they absolutely got annihilated by the Miami Hurricanes. This one, they really outplayed Virginia Tech. Should have won that game, but late in the game there, they couldn't come up with a stop down inside the 5-yard line. They give up the touchdown. They fall to 1-4, I think it is now on the season. Virginia Tech with the win there. West Virginia, Iowa State, another one I'm not too thrilled with. Another unbeaten goes down. I didn't think there was any way that Iowa State was going to be able to compete with Will Greer and the Cyclone, or Will Greer and the Mountaineers, the other team, the Cyclones, what I'm talking about here. But they did. West Virginia's biggest test of the year, and they failed it. So they fall now to, is it 6-1, 5-1? They're 6-1. They're 5-1. I gotta get it together. Missouri at Alabama. Alabama does cover the spread. They won by 29 points, 39-10 over Missouri. By the skin of my teeth, I got that one right. I did pick Miami to cover the spread against Virginia, which was 5.5. Was wrong on that one. This is another one in my Facebook group. I actually picked Virginia to cover. So, like, if I do that, what is that? If I do that, I'm guaranteed to get one right somewhere along the line. So, Miami loses there last night. I think it was it 16-13. They lost to Virginia. Not really a big surprise. I don't think Miami's any better than Virginia, to be honest with you. Good win there, though, by the Cavaliers. I'm glad to see. I think their program's getting better, too, under Runkle Mendenhall. I remember Virginia when I was a kid growing up and first started watching football in the mid to late 80s there, and coming as I was growing up. I remember Virginia was always had a pretty good team, and nice to see them starting to come back. Wisconsin on the road at Michigan. No, wasn't even close. 38-13. Michigan wins that one, so they're making a push. And I was wrong on that one. Ole Miss at Arkansas. Ole Miss does win, but only by 4. They had to come back in that one to get the victory. Get the victory in that one. They had to come back and win 37-33. So did not cover the spread in that particular game. And another one, I was very disappointed in the Colorado Buffaloes. Going on the road, and they drop it 31-20 to the USC Trojans in a game where they were behind 28-7 at one point, I believe. And they kind of threw some points up there in the fourth quarter to make it look respectable. But really sad, real sad. That Colorado, they were undefeated, just couldn't get it done in this one. So, tallying this up, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Looks like I got 8 right and 12 wrong here against the spread. I'll go back and recalculate that in a minute. But it looks like that's where we're standing at. It's hard to pick games against the spread sometimes. Now, if I got a few right, I'd be more than that right. I'd be telling you, man, it's not that bad to pick these things against the spread. You should try it sometime. But at any rate, that's that, guys. Recap of week number 7. Somebody down in the comment section gave me an idea the other day, so I should actually type these up on paper and just circle the winners when I talk about them. Probably not a bad idea. My handwriting does tend to get kind of third grade-ish after a while, after I get tired there. I have carpal tunnel, and it gets to me sometimes. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys later. Appreciate it. Peace. And I'm out here.